I was working with the operations side on trying to track bin Laden all day long, every day. And so when he made an appearance on television, it would be analyzed to that. Was this recently recorded? Was the backdrop new? Is he saying something new? Can we tell by the backdrop where he is? How did the recording get to Al Jazeera? Can we find the courier? All of that kind of analysis happened every time he's found. Where could he have gone? We were going to war full out against bin Laden.
The danger and call to defend freedom. Whether we bring our enemies to justice or bring justice to our enemies, justice will.
Morning, Finn. How are you, buddy? Happy birthday to your mother. Finn, I've been waiting for this program to come for a year and a half.
One helicopter.
Right?
Very heavy.
It's called American Manhunt Osama Bin Laden. Me fucking missus or auntie died in her sleep last night. Fuck's sake. Hang on, bro. 1 second. That's nice, that. Tell you what, Finn, you know when you lose your mother,
10 of us.
it does something to us.
Just 2 weeks from yesterday, that's 9/11.
Things happen, you know, but I'm going to get a consultation on my teeth today, Finn. Look, I can't, for years I've not had that like that, look. How do I eat, Finn? How do I eat, Finn? So Lee Marvin Hitchman's coming to pick me up about 20 to 12 and he's taking me into a consultant. So they're gonna do an x-ray of me mouth, a 4D scan. Probably gonna cost me about 15 grand, like, but I'm watching this thing about Bin Laden. I've been waiting for it for 18 months. I just got to my Mars about half an hour ago because I'm getting picked up from here in a bit.
I'll try to safe harbor there. In order to get Bin Laden, you have to go through the tower line first.
He's a good lad, Lee. He's a good lad. He's a lot of time for me, but for some reason I don't know, like, but I have a lot of time for him, you know what I mean, Finn?
I send a team forward to do that. I told them when we get there, if the Afghans are cooperative, do the deal. If they're not, kill them.
Yeah, so my appointment's for 12:05.
Our guys asked them, where's Osama bin Laden? And their answer was, Osama who? That was kind of a mistake. Our guys, everybody.
Shout out to me queen, I love you. I'm creaming myself up for the dentist, joke.
By November, there were approximately 410 Americans on the ground throughout Afghanistan. The various teams were heavily outnumbered.
I went over overhead photography with Hank Crumpton, and we can see that at the Khyber Pass and in other places of entry into Afghanistan, there were traffic jams of 5 and 10 miles long. Looked like every jihadist in the Middle East was
Not bad for 51, Finn.
against the infidels. Us.
There was an inherent weakness to what we were trying to do with the very limited resources that we had.
I used to be
We were
ripped,
outnumbered by the enemy.
but I'm not anymore. I'm fat now. But I used to have a diet.
Just before September 11th, I
You know, like I said, when I used to kickbox, Finn, when I used to box, I'd abs. Do you understand? I was fit. I was 147 pounds. That's championship weight. For 10 years, I was like that. not a pound overweight. Championship weight.
Junior in college.
Every morning I'd wake up at 4, about 4:30, walk me dog,
Here's my resume.
come back, have a cup of tea, a smoke, go to work.
In my sorority.
And when I went to work, that's all I did was work, not talk, work.
Sometimes
See
it's
that?
really difficult. Sometimes you're expelling women for
That's me good hand.
more twisted.
I can use a knife with this hand
To sacrifice popularity and being liked.
to the point where I earned a couple of skills. Being a precision boner. Imagine that. What a name, what? A precision boner, yeah. I was very good at butchering. I started an apprenticeship at 14 and I ended up finishing at 34. Everything I've ever tried to do, I've not walked away from. I won't quit. Stop. I have all that to look forward to, but I've been purposely trying to lose weight for the last 2 years. Finn, did you see me in that video a couple of years ago? I was 15 stone. Where's the belly, look? Well, yeah, it's going. I'll tell you that now, bro. I was like that, a pregnant woman. I was unhealthy fit. Wait, you see the here? I was supposed to post the community page thing on my page, me mate, when we were both on the heroin. I'm gonna show you how thin I was. Eastern Afghanistan. I'm watching this, right? Going to a pie mash shop later. Getting the YouTube. Okay. Do you know anything about Whitechapel? Mr. Printer. Hey, who do you think Jack the Ripper was? Go on, hit me with it. I'll tell you who I think. I tell you who I think he was. I'll tell you what I thought he was, and the reason being behind it, you see. There's not a thing on this planet that I don't know something about. Well, obviously there is. No, definitely not. I think he was a royal doctor. He had access. Nobody had stopped a royal carriage. Think about it for a minute. Back then, this geezer was removing organs that precise, that the expert said that he had to be talented with a knife. You know, human anatomy, it's not far different from an animal. Do you understand? You have a heart, you have lungs, you've got kidney, you've got a liver. I reckon he had something to do with the royal family. I could be wrong, but today I'm doing something that I've been afraid to do for years. Okay, so I've been afraid to get these done, okay? Because they're the only teeth I have, right? Look. So all of them are getting taken out. Every one of them. Them taken out. And then I'm going to have big false Dougie Joyce teeth. And I'll be able to eat an apple. I've one thing on my bucket list I want to do before I die. Eat an apple. Here, hit him. Shell that cunt. Have you ever been there? Have you ever seen Afghanistan? There it is on telly there. All right, Jay. But shout out to me missus, man. She woke up to find out her auntie died in her sleep last night. You know, now only for I have to go for this appointment, I'd cancel it. You know, like I go brown in the summer, I did say that. Look at the colour of my arms, look. You can see the damage to that arm there when you look at it. Chunks gone out of it. Anyway, how's Jay? You know, September the 11th, a decision was made. They made the decision. Hit him with it. Man, I'll tell you something, yeah. You see the Afghanis, they overthrew the Russians, yeah, on their own soil, right? The Russians come to try do them, right? And they did the Russians, yeah. Now, wait till I tell you this. The CIA collaborated with the Taliban in order to overthrow the Russians, and he gave them 1 million M16s, 1 million AK-47s. They give them weapons and they use them against them when they come back. In 1993, right, I'll tell you something about Afghanistan, right, and 1994. 75% Taliban, 15% Northern Alliance, 10% normal farmers. They all look like the same in the dark, and I'm not waiting for one of them to point their staff at me. I'm not hesitating. I'll shoot the cunt and ask later. It's war. You know, it doesn't count. The only thing that matters is your fucking survival. Long-term sustainability. You know, that's our duty as a soldier. You know, no matter what. No, it doesn't matter the circumstances. Self-preservation is the mission. And the self-preservation of the unit of lads around you. You know, you all go there safe and you get home safe. Nobody is left behind. Have you ever fought or fired an AK in your life? One bullet out of one? I have. You know why? My cousin had one, allegedly. And let me have a look at it. I fired a shot out and I left this house. I had my son with me at the time, Dylan. If he was here, he'd tell you, Dad, why has he got an AK-47? A real one. He said, I seen the fake one. He said, but why has he got a real one? I said, that's none of your concern. My son said to me, Dad, I don't feel comfortable here. I said, we're going. I could have punched my cousin in the face in Dublin up in Clondalkin. For showing my son that weapon, I could have killed him. What are you showing my son things like that for? Are you stupid? Hey. Oh yeah, you want to be like me, do you? It's not in you. I can smell your vagina. One of my cousins showed my son an AK-47. And I could have fucking killed him for doing it. You know, and I'm not joking. He showed him a fake one. And I thought he was, and then he said, you want to see the real one? I said, bro, don't start taking weapons out and showing my son. He said, he's fucking family. Come here, you better put that away now before I fucking do something about it. My son's in this house, you hear what I'm fucking saying? You know, I've never been in that house since. I have family members, allegedly, who want to be tough guys, who have weapons. When you want to be a tough guy sometimes, you never know, someone might put a bomb on your house. You know, you can't be going around telling people that you're selling for the IRA, because you'll put a bomb on your gaff like they did in Clondalkin and try to blow your house up with you in it. I warned you about this life, but you wanted to be like me. I told you I don't want you to be anything like me, and what did you do? All you ended up like me. And now, it's too late to walk away. You know too many secrets. Them secrets will get you killed one day. And guess what? Your kids might even get to witness it. Well done. You did that. That's an accomplishment. All I give a fuck about nowadays is making an impression for my kids, standards for them to follow. Do you understand? My kids will go to school, college, university. Do you understand? Whether they want it or not, they're going. You know, I don't want to go and get me whole mouth rewired. 2 full pallets I have to get done. Every stump in my mouth is getting taken out. I'm going to get a 3D picture, a 4D picture today at the inside of my gums to see. And then what they're going to do is they're going to come up with a plan of action. Lee Marvin Hitchman, you big curly-headed fuck. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Finn, you know Lee, he's a good friend to me. He said, Jude, listen, I hope I don't offend you by saying this, but I'm bringing you to my dentist. I was like, nah, I'm not offended. I'm fucking highly insulted. You know, but I appreciate it because he's looking out for me. You know, the only person on the YouTube community to ever help me now, I'm not talking about Pablo, I'm talking about YouTubers, established YouTubers who have wrote books, who've been on James English, Sean Atwood, Lad Bible, every podcast Lee Marvin Hitchman's been on, and he's coming on mine, and today we're going to spend half the day together, you know, because he's picking me up in an Uber, and he's taking me to see a consultation. I'm going for a consultation. It's probably going to cost about 16 grand to get me whole mouth done, but I want to buy an apple. Even if I bite an apple and have a heart attack, I'll be good with that. As long as I get to bite the apple, that's all I want. Look, Finn, look. No, here, how do I chew? That's my dilemma, and I'm not afraid. I couldn't give a fuck what people say about my teeth. You know, it is what it is. I was a fucking junkie, drug addict, fucking bastard. That's why my teeth is like this, but a long time ago, yeah, I did have one relapse a few months ago, but here, that will never happen again. You know, one relapse in 30 years. Well done, me. I've relapsed on coke loads of times, but not on opiates, not like that. And I went up my nose that day. You know, Finn, I'm terrified, bro, of needles. You know, I swear to God, bro, I'm terrified of needles, but, you know, since I've come off this meal stabilizer, Finn, I've been purposely, don't get me wrong, I eat, but sometimes I starve myself. It's like I've been trying to lose weight, and my way works. I've lost 2.5 stone nearly since I've come off that medication, Finn. You go look at my videos on Fighting Back United and look how big my face is. You know, I had a massive belly, now look, I've only a little one. I'm working on it. You understand? But my back's fucked. I can't do what I used to do. Like you asked Mark Finn, about 20 years ago, bro, I hadn't got a 6-pack, I had a fucking 8-pack. I weighed 147 pounds, not a pound heavier, not a pound lighter. I couldn't put weight on. And then I discovered this. So I started asking my doctor, wow, for them. Them there, look. You get them in strawberry, vanilla. But basically, look, so put it this way, see that? That has all the vitamins and all the nutrients in it. I haven't got an 8-pack, go fuck yourself. How about that? Hey, motherfucker, I don't need to lie. I have plenty of pictures of how I used to look. Do you understand? And everything I say I can back up, but I don't need to show you fuck all, you little midget. Get out of my life before when me mods put an arrow in your neck. Now, shout out to me mammy. Me other mammy. Hey, mammy. That's my other queen there. You see, I'm a very religious man. Do you know that? Finn, if I told you I read the Bible a few times, you wouldn't believe me, right? Now, forget most of it. But Spencer is the same. Spencer's read the Bible. We went to God's school for 5 years. Every year we went down the country with him down to Arklow. You know, I learned about God from a very young age, you know. But I walked away from God, you know what I mean? He never walked away from me. I walked away from him. Light them up, tar the border, fucking hit him, don't ignore it. Tar the border, mate. Have you ever seen that place up close and personal? I have. Yeah, on telly. Yeah, just like Hiroshima. Boom! Blow them up. The lot of them. No. Good man. Well, Finn, the more shorts you get, you make, the more subs you'll get. This is why I say to people who want to grow the YouTube channel, listen to me and help me and I'll help you. Now, by helping me, you can help me 3 ways. You can sub to everybody who comes into my channel. You can even make a short and add certain channels to your description. And as you go, now, I'm going to start putting in about 50 channels. And the 50 channels that I've put in, I know, I've been around. I've been on this community 7 years, and all the English channels ran over me, derailed me. One of them stole my channel, so I got it back. Do something, I did. I got my channel back, didn't I? 6 times. Yeah, in 2 years. I've got 1,200 subs to get, I think. 1,250, and I'll hit my target easy. Do you think I won't hit it before Christmas? You know, and like I said, this is our principle. I won't do panels. You know, I leave it up to people like Finn to do panels. You know, I'm purposely, I don't need to do panels to grow this channel, and I'll prove that. I represent the Irish community on here, so does Finn and so does Mousy. And there's 3 Irish channels, right? It's like, then we have a couple of other dubs, you know what I mean? And I know I'm the captain of this ship. And it's like I've identified a lot of my countrymen. See what I mean, Finn? And you ever want to know about this app, bro, will help you. Because you're a fire. Do you understand? And you lit a fire under yourself without even knowing, and it's like, for the first 28 days I said, I'll put Finn's name on my channel every fucking day. I'm only one YouTube channel, and I'll see, can I help getting 10 or 20 fucking subs? It's better than, what have you got to lose? You know, he's Irish. I was like, you know, Finn, with a little bit of work, a little bit of advice, and steer him in the right direction, and he could be like a beacon of hope for the Irish community. A lot of people from Dublin are on drugs. It never admit it. You know, there's people like myself, Finn, there's loads of people that come in and out of here that struggle with addiction. Even John, I was saying it the other day, we have Jay in there as well, you know, and we've all taken drugs. It's like, we fucked up, you know. Like, you know, and everybody expects you to be perfect. That's when you can break, you know. Like, I relapsed a few months ago because I seen a dead woman in my bedroom and I thought I was hallucinating. I thought I was having delusions, and because of these wankers that I have to go and see sometimes, they're going to make a decision based on what I say. So if I go see my psychiatrist and he says, "Hey Jude, how's it going?" "All right, Doc." "How's life?" "That's all right. Just all right. The last time I seen you were buzzing. You told me you were in love and you had a son and a grandson and you were living your life again and all this, but if I go and tell him that I see me dead mother, he's going to think it's a delusion or a hallucination." So I didn't bother telling him because I wasn't 100%. I'm 100% now. You know, before my ma died, we had a conversation. She said, "You know, when I die," I'm like, "Will you fuck off saying that?" She'd be like, "Will you fuck off contradicting me every time I fucking say something?" Listen, I believe in God. Your granny believe in God. You believe in God. And believe me, God, if there's a way to come back and say hello once, I'll do it. I'll find a way to come back and say hello to you. And I'm like, "Will you fuck off talking about dying? You're not fucking dying." She says, "Come here, stupid cunt. Your dad died, didn't he?" "Yeah, I'm gonna die too." And I'm like, "Ma, will you please stop saying that?" She said, "If you keep contradicting me, I won't just come back, I'll fucking haunt you." You know, and I remember a few months ago, just before, it's like this particular morning, I just heard Tom crying, you know, and I just turned around to look at my son and I seen her just stood there, you know, and I know she knows I seen her, and the thing that bothered me and the thing that I know I was awake, you see, because you might be able to see things and what have you and have delusions, but in my bedroom, it's pitch black, no ambient, no light. And as you go out my bedroom, it's like there's these drawers, like big flaps to keep the clothes in. And when you go out of the bedroom, there's no way you can't avoid that box. So it makes a particular sound. Finn, Lisa was on the school run. As soon as I looked and I heard that sound, I see me fucking mum next of all, I just seen something go, "Fuck off," yeah? And Finn, then I could smell her perfume. So this rules out delusions, because you can see things, but you don't smell them as well. I could smell me ma's perfume and I had a wobble. You know, I was like, finally I've lost it. You know, 30 years, the wheels are falling off, Jude. You've relapsed, your relationship's fucking all over the place. It's like, you need to do something. You know, I didn't want to tell anybody. You know, my missus was the only one knew that I relapsed and I wasn't going to tell anybody, but it's better doing it this way. You know, it's one thing admitting the truth to yourself, but to the world. You know, like I said, I love my missus, bro. You know, and I don't like being on my own. You know, I'm not used to being on my own. You know, I like being with somebody, you know, but I'm a very loyal person. You know, my eldest son, I was with his mother for 22 years. 22 years, Finn. Yeah, 22 years. But I believe things happen for a reason. And yeah, I've been through a couple of things in my life. But Finn, I'm not on my own. There's people out there that have well worse lives than me. There's some people out there, Finn, that don't have a place to stay, a place to sleep. You know the problem with society? People are too judgmental. Like you, people look at me. If I talk to someone I don't know, automatically, because they see me teeth, they're going to say he's a drug addict and I'll be able to take liberties with him. Well, that's where they find out. Here, if you're judging me because of what you see, there, you're going to get hurt. You know, I wanted to be a world champion, but I was a drug addict. I wasn't dedicated the way I should have been. I had children. I had children, in all fairness, and I know I could have been a world champion if I had having a bit more ambition. You know, it's like, you don't need to get ready, you stay ready. You know, purposely I've been losing weight. You know, no jokes, all jokes aside, Finn, the other night when I was getting out of the shower, I seen me dick for the first time in a long time. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I can see my dick. You know, I was over the moon. I was like, wow, hello, mate. Fucking hell, I've not seen you for fucking years. Get up out of that. You know, I can even see the dick. Oh, fuck that, bro. You know what, Jay? I've never taken mushrooms in my life. I've had them, not magic mushrooms. I've taken LSD, like trips and shit, but I've never taken mushrooms. I've had a microdot. I remember years ago, one of my mates, Kenneth, he was trying to split a microdot between the two of us. You know what I mean? And his little brother's asking us for a bit of a harp. I'm like, get away, you're not getting any of that. Fuck off, move. You know, go on, just a little bit. I'm like, listen to me, yeah? Your brother will kill me. I'm not giving you nothing, Didi will fucking kill me. You know, it's like, but because I grew up with him, he wouldn't kill me. He just box me in the face or something, you know. And in all fairness, I looked up to Derek as well when I was a kid. You know, like, and they're all gentlemen, them boys. You know, none of us are perfect. You know, and because of Paul Williams, you know, he wrote a lot of lies about my friend's brother. You know, my friend's brother, like myself, used to be a bowsy. You know, but a lot of people do turn their life around and go legitimate, and, you know, I like to see that, but there's a lot of people all around Dublin, like I said, that wants to be the man and wanted to be the man. They're dead because of it. You know, not just Ballyfermot, you have Coolock, Finglas, Crumlin, Cabra, Ballymun, Blanchardstown. You know, get them, bro. I'm in Offaly. Where is he in Dublin? What? Well, Jay, you see, I've been around YouTube 7 years, right? And when I first come on YouTube, there was only 3 Irish channels in our circle. Holden Official, Fighting Irish, and me. And we all went on the cesspit. And I bullied a few people because they were picking on people, right? I said, here, dickhead, I'm in England. How about I just go down to Colwyn Bay and stick you in the sand fighting holes? You know, he was threatening film boy Matthew, who owned the cesspit. I was like, here, you're telling me he threatened you and you're not doing nothing about it? He's like, Jude, I'm not a fighter. I said, neither am I. I said, but you can't let people fucking violate you like that. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not listening to me, yeah? I'm not a big chap, you know what I mean? I'm not a tough guy, but I tell you what, you won't bully any of my team. It ain't happening. Yeah, I'll just stand like that. Just, you won't even see it coming, man. Real power that. You know, I'm 50 years old. I don't get ready, I stay ready. Do you understand? I don't need to be a fucking tough guy. I can fight. I can defend myself and I'll beat you in your head quicker than you can throw your right hand at me. Because I'd anticipate it and I just go smack. Then what? You know, I'm around fighters, you know, me brothers can fight. But I'm a lover. You know, my missus, only for my missus. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be fucking arguing with everybody. You know, like, oh, if you let people take the piss out of you, they will. You know, if you let people violate you. Now, listen, like I said, Finn, Lee is part of this community, right? Do you like me garden? Look, he's put the new lights on, Finn, right? They're moved, right? Follow me. Right? Whatever. Paddy Conroy is in here. So, Finn, in here we have a bouncy castle. We have a few suitcases, and them Technics are there over 10 years. Now, I walked away from music now. So they're there, right? They're there years, right? The decks, I have one turntable in here, and there's one in here and it's broken. Yeah, they're there. That's why I walked away from music. You know what I mean? Because my dad wanted me to be a DJ, and I didn't want that for me. You know, like what's the point in teaching me how to be a tough guy and how to handle myself when I'm working in an office? Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm not working in an office for 30 years where at the end of it you get a poxy clock. Thank you for your service and be on your way. Here, fuck you and that. We'll go crypto. How about that? There's a clue for you. Yeah, you're looking at it. You're walking around it. Yeah. You know, the price of this house doubled when the Etihad went up, they say. And you know, because we have the biggest garden on the housing estate, you know, because this garden is this big, you can add an extra £80,000 onto the value of the house. Imagine that. So you're talking about 400,000 for this house. Well, Finn, I hope you have a good day and happy birthday to Finn's mammy. I just, like, when I was going live, I seen it. You know, shout out to your ma, bro. You know, like I said, when I come to fucking England, bro, it's like a year later, me ma followed me over because they miss me. You know what I mean? They actually miss me. You know, like, and that was me dad, and like, he died not long after that was taken. And part of me died, Finn, when my dad died. See, when my ma died, it ruined me, Finn, you know. It's like, but when it comes to the lads, like, that's my boy there. He's 31 years old, and I'm so proud of him, you know. That's my sister's husband, the big Talibani, you big Arab, you. I love you, you big man from Pakistan. I love you. There's me two brothers, well, me three brothers, me son and me. He's family, he's Muslim. Me nephews are Muslim, and if I heard anyone saying a bad word or mentioning Anton, now I'm allowed to say it. I say Arab all the fucking time, and Talibani, and what? I'm not being disrespectful. Here, what do they call us? you know, but like I said here, it's a minority of people, you know. Like there's a minority of cunts in Ireland as well, you know. 140,000 left behind in a lot of chaos. Wow. Okay. Well, Finn, like I said, we're here. We're in the UK, and I'm looking forward to you coming up to see me one weekend. You know, we'll plan it. You know, I'm going away for a few days. I was supposed to go to Amsterdam with my son for his 31st birthday, but my passport is invalid, so I'm going up to Wales or something for a few days, you know. A little golf holiday, you know. Well, not a golf, it's just a little break for Lisa and the kids, you know what I mean? And I get to go fishing and play a bit of golf, so I'm fucking over the moon, you know. Today I'm facing me fears. I'm going to get me mouth evaluated. How are you, Aaron? Aaron, they were playing with me yesterday. You know, I'm sitting there, right? And they're just playing with me. You know what I mean? I tried a big dollop of bread, yeah? I took all my weights on my float and just fucking put a big lump of bread on. They were just playing with it. You know, they were just playing with me. You know, and it's like, do you know what? Do you know the thing about tenacity? See me, right? Okay, if I go fishing 12 times and I don't catch fish, every time I go, it's going to make me hungrier. And I'm not talking about eating the fucking fish. Yeah, I've gone fishing 12 times and not one bite did I get. And then one day I go fishing and I catch me personal best. You know, like I've gone past me personal best on the canal. Well, sorry, no. Okay, so I caught a pike in a lake, right? I caught this fish in the canal. But that was the biggest fish I've ever caught in the canal, being that brave. Aaron, when I took it in, something hit it. Hey, Solway, something grabbed it by the face. And by the time I got it in, when I laid it down, I had a big cloth. Now, the last time I went fishing, I forgot my fishing mat, because I always put the fish on a mat and they go back. Do you understand? You fucking catch them and you release them, okay? But I didn't catch any yesterday, so there was none to release. But I'll meet up with you one day, Aaron, and we'll go fishing somewhere. Like I said, today I'm meeting Lee Marvin Hitchman. He's bringing me to the dentist. And he's going to hold me hand, because I'm scared, you know. He said, I'll hold your hand, Jude. I said, fuck off, Lee. He said, bro, well, bros aren't me. I said, yeah. He said, I'm coming in with you and I'm going to hold your hand. So I said, all right, as long as it's not me cock. I am not again. Yeah. As long as it's not me dick, because I'll get sick. I've one thing to say, I am not again. Yeah. So, been watching something about terrorism, right? I've been waiting for this documentary for 2 years to come out on Netflix. 2 years, all about when the CIA made the decision to go and to hunt down and to put every resource into catching bin Laden. Now, you know that hunt years ago? You know what they used to do? You know, a lot of soldiers used to give the kids candy and shit, you know, to community politics, right? You know, one day I'm giving these kids sweets, you know, that one day becomes every day for a few weeks. So it's a routine. So you have Al-Qaeda operatives in plain sight watching this, watching these kids getting sweets and going up to the soldiers, and the soldiers are like that, lowering their weapons. Okay, so that means you're compromised. If you have your weapon down by your side and you're getting shot at, it doesn't matter because you're immobilized. You get shot, whatever, regardless. So, these bastards, they went to this man's house one night. Your daughters take candy off Americans, infidels. Now, I'm going to take one of your daughters. I believe you have 4. Now, you'll get your other daughter back when your daughter straps a suicide vest around her tomorrow and walks up to them soldiers and just presses a button. One of your daughters is going to be dead, but she's also going to be a dead martyr, you know, and you'll see her in paradise one day, but these soldiers are invading their land. So tomorrow, your daughter is going to walk up to them as normal, and if she doesn't, I'll kill all of you. Do you understand? And I'll let her watch. And then after she watches, I'll rape her. That's what he said to this man. This man had to strap a suicide vest around his little girl, and she walked right up to a convoy, and 14 people were killed in it. You see, they always find a weakness, you know. It's like, and children, strapping bombs onto them. You imagine seeing a child being blown to pieces. Her head over here, her feet over there, her legs here, fucking, they're still picking her up.
Of the puzzle, in order to stop attacks down the road, no.
Fuck you!
No. And
But,
I know as an analyst,
but guys, listen,
that there's
I'm watching this, yeah, on Netflix, yeah. It's called Osama bin Laden, American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden. I've been waiting for this for nearly 2 years. Tell you what else I'm waiting for, Lee Marvin Hitchman. So, I have a friend, okay, now, I'm only on YouTube 7 years. Now, there's a lot of people on YouTube a lot longer than that, right? Now, when you have your own channel, you come across different YouTubers and content creators, right? Now, because I live in Manchester, Lee, he's a lot of time for me. I don't get it, like, you know, but he's a lot of time for me, you know. He said, Jude, you're my brother, you know. Do you know what he said to me yesterday? You know what he said to me, missus? He said, every famous person gets their teeth done, Jude. Every famous person gets their Newton heat done. That's what he said. I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking famous. Not as famous as you. Famous. Would you stop out with that? You know, he's like, bro, honestly, your channel is everywhere. He's like, and everyone in the community has a lot of respect for you. You know, because you still haven't called anyone out. You know, you're not afraid to say, Dougie Joyce, fuck you in your face and your teeth. You know, like I'm scared of any of them travellers. None of them. You know, that's the problem. They pick on, I'm a countryman. You won't fucking threaten me, what, because you're a gypsy? All right, then I'd say, tell you what, yeah, if you can drop me, let's go. Well, here, fair fight. Now, if you put your hand on me, my brother will eat your nose like a chocolate bar. You see, because he learned how to fight. Me air marking fight. Oh, yeah. Bulldog, they call him. You know, my brothers don't run. And Jude McDonald's on him dumb. Yeah. Of course you would. But I'd beg to differ. You know, I'm not a tough guy, a hard man, or a fighting man. I can just fight and defend myself because I learned. You know, my dad learned me how to use my hands. My dad taught me a few things as well. Don't let you up. Because if I let you up, you're going to hurt me. Finn, I was having my cornflakes. I don't start no trouble on me baby, on all my children's lives, on me dead brothers and sisters' graves, on me mammy and dad's grave. That particular morning in that unit, it's like, there's rules, Finn, right? Let's say if you get section, Finn, right? This geezer, the day before his mother had died, I didn't know why he was there, but you have to understand something, bro. I used to see me dad beat the brakes on me ma. And, bro, if I had been a male member of staff, bro, I'd have leaving it. It's not nothing to do with me. But because she was a woman, and I happened to turn her out, I was eating me cornflakes, reading me paper, about to do the crossword, and I could hear a commotion, and I looked and I'm like, fuck me, he's big, you know. And this nurse, you're only allowed £40 a day when you get sectioned, right? If you want to go out, right? Because some people gamble. Even if you're a millionaire, you're only allowed a set amount every day being £40. And he wanted 70. And she said, I don't make the rules. You know, I'm a fucking psychiatric nurse, you know, not an accountant. He grabbed her by her neck, lifted her, I turned around because I could hear her choking, right? And I could see her trying to go for her keys to pull her alarm. He grabbed her keys and went like that and dashed them. You know, so I was like, no, fuck it. Here, big man, you need to let her go. Yeah, she's a fucking woman, right? You know, I was trying to get his attention on me. I was like, look at me. I bet your mammy's proud of you. Finn, his mammy died the day before and he lost his fucking mind, so they had to sedate him. So he wanted money, you know, and she only could give him £40, so he lifted her off her feet. And Finn, if I'd have hit this fella with me fist, I don't think it'd do nothing. He looked like Bungalow Rainbow, you know. Like, I didn't want to do anything that day, bro. Believe me, I was going to have me cornflakes and go to the gym, do a bit of sparring, you know. And here, I've a load of photographs I'm going to post to shut a few cunts up. The good thing about me is I can back everything up I say with picture. So, I asked him to let her go on Thomas's life, and Finn, he wasn't letting her go, do you understand? It's like, and she was going blue. She tried to pull her alarm. He threw the keys. There was no staff. There was only 2 staff on the fucking unit at the time. You know, so it's like, I went over to him and I just fucking tried to distract him, you know, but he ran at me and I was cornered in, Finn, and the only thing that was there was a fridge and a microwave, and Finn, they're chained. They are chained to the wall, right? So I had a couple of seconds, and when I say chained, mate, I mean 2 chains. I grabbed the fucking microwave, bro, and I just whacked him with it. You know, his teeth hit the ground before his head hit. You know, but when he hit the ground, I hit him again, and I was going for another one. You know, don't be hitting women in front of me, bro. Do you understand? I'll fucking kill you. You know, my dad, he was a bastard. You know, but I loved him still. You know. But like I said, yeah, I was in Park House up in fucking Blakely. You know, and at the end of the day, I was there because I was seriously ill. I was on suicide watch, and this cunt is hitting a woman in front of me. Now, what he didn't know was that was going to trigger me, and I was going to beat his fucking head in one way or the other. Now, if he had a grab at me, I was done, because he was a big chap. Now, I mean, well, if he had to just running at me and gripping me against the wall, there was nothing I would have been able to do. You know, because he was twice the size I was. This guy was over 20 stone. You know, I was in there on suicide watch, man. I wasn't fucking eating food. They had me drinking these every day because I wasn't eating food, right? So every fucking day, I was drinking them, right? Cause every nutrient and every fucking vitamin is in these, right? But anyway, the geezer, I heard him, he hit the floor, and I could hear me dad saying, Jude, don't let him up, look at the size of him, he's a big fucker, he'll hurt you. You know, don't let him up. So I didn't let him up. You know, and he didn't report me either. You know, and that's because he hit a fucking woman, you know what I mean? It's like I was going for a hat-trick and then I got rushed by a couple of staff, you know, and the alarms were going off, like, and I'm not joking you, this one guy hit me and sent me flying, but because of the adrenaline, I tried to stand back up, and he got what I didn't realise was he was after stabbing me in the arse with an injection, and it was supposed to just knock me, you know, but it took a couple of minutes for it to work, you know. By that time, like, there was about 20 people on the unit, you know what I mean? All the security were up there, you know what I mean? It's like, and they had me, like, you know what I mean, pinned down, apparently, like, fucking, I can't remember much after it, but I remember saying, like, to the psychiatrist, she's like, Jude, you know, you could have killed him, you know. I said, well, that's not my fucking problem, you know. He could have killed one of your fucking staff only for me. You know what I mean? Where was all your staff? In fact, where were they? While your fucking nurse was getting strangled, where were they? And you're questioning me. You know, yeah, I'll bash this fucking head in and I'll fucking do it again. You know what I mean? If he fucking tries that shit again, I'll bounce something off his head. You know I'm violent. Well, we've established that, Jude. Well then, you're the one that labelled me psychotic, you know, complex PTSD. I see videos of me father in me head hitting me ma, dragging her around the place when she was pregnant on me brother. You know, and I've never hit a woman on me. I made my granny a promise. I'd never hit a woman or a child, and I haven't. You know, now back in '93, I did hit a woman, but I didn't know it was a woman. She was the first one to come through the door when they raided me off the first time. The second time, like I said, here, you know, and I reckon she was a lesbian, this one. Proper butch, ran in like she was going to do something. I just clipped her. But anyway, like I said, I'm not on YouTube to act the bowsy or act like a tough guy. You know, I used to come from that world and it's all bullshit, but what I learned from that world is, you know, never trust anybody. Cause even your own boys will fuck you over one day, you know, but you have to have forgiveness in your heart. If you're a true Christian, you'll be able to forgive your mate, even if he hands someone a weapon to kill you. You know, now that's what you call forgiveness. Like, could you forgive one of your best friends if he handed someone a gun in front of you while you're on your knees in a puddle of blood and piss? Would you forgive him? Could you forgive him? Yeah, he's well forgiven, because he's a Gibbon. Ian Gibbons. 3 Dublin gangland assassination attempts and the cunt still doesn't die. There's no killing this cunt. But I tell you what, I could have killed him when I bumped into him on a hospital ward. And the thing about Gibbo is, if I'd have thrown my hand at him, he was thrown back and he would have lost his job. That day, I thought he was dead. I ended up, like I said at the time, I was on it. I don't believe in coincidence. Lisa's dad was taken into hospital and died. And I met him on the corridor. He said, Jude MacDonald, I'm looking at him, you're a fucking dead man. I thought I was hallucinating, I was having delusions like, you're dead. Harper O'Driscoll told me, you're fucking dead. He said to me, he said, Jude, I always wondered if I ever seen you, what we'd talk about and what we'd say. So while you're here now, I'm asking you to forgive me. You can ask him if he ever comes on. Not my words, his. He said, Jude, do you forgive me? Can you forgive me? I said, of course I forgive you. I thought you were dead. You know, I said, you've been assassinated 3 times and didn't die. If anyone's got the right to kill you, it's me. You know, you probably got shot because of betraying me, allegedly, so I've been told. My mates weren't very happy about that, what Gibbo did on me. But Gibbo didn't know the gun was for me, but what he didn't know is, a gun's not going to fire without a firing pin. You know. The firing pin was probably more important than the actual weapon. You know, and it was a battered shotgun. It must have been about fucking 100 years old. You had to cock it with a screwdriver. You know, but still and all, he didn't even know how to use it. You know, and in fact, he couldn't. You know, I knew he couldn't kill me, so I was telling him, go on, shoot me. Do it. What's the point now? You're in front of witnesses here. So, you know, let's see how you go. Come on, Mr. Tough Guy, go on, shoot me. You know, they were at the beating the brakes on me, you know what I mean? All my mates will tell you I was a cocky little cunt, and it was my corner. You know why? Because other people named it that. Come on, we go up to Jude's corner. I was surrounded by a lot of mates, you know, who ended up going on to be some of Dublin's highest profile prisoners. You know, I've a lot of mates that have died. I've a few mates that were assassins, allegedly. You know, like I said, when you grow up in Cherry Orchard, you know everybody. It's just like if you grow up in Finglas, Crumlin, Tallaght, Clondalkin, Blanchardstown, Coolock, you name it. You know, like I said, it's like I grew up in a tough environment. You know, it's like me mum originally comes from Ballyfermot. My father comes from Keogh Square, Michael's estate. And like I said, I grew up alongside a lot of tough lads who had big brothers whose names were always in the paper. You know, I wanted to be one of them, you know. Like, and I started young, you know, and all my mates wanted to sit at a street corner and do nothing, not work for it, put the work in, do anything. So I got an opportunity, so I said I'm going to pick one of my mates to help me do this. And I did, being Ian Gibbons, Gary Flynn and Neil Douglas, you see. And I was only a kid, but I was given a job to distribute something, you know, that brought a lot of people together, you know. And it was great. It was like Woodstock, you know, it's like, and I was too cocky, you know what I mean, because I had all my mates watching me six, do you understand? So, you know, it's like, when I look back now, you know, the decisions that I made then has kept me alive, you know. I went against one of the biggest families in the city centre, being the Hutches, not just me, all my mates, you know, because the Hutches and the Mitchells wanted the Asylum nightclub, but guess what? They didn't fucking get it. So, now, it's crazy. I don't believe in coincidence, right? So, Mousy was in Mountjoy around the same time as me, or the year after. Now, ask him, he'll tell you. Because if Mousy was he'd remember this. It's like, somebody come into my cell to violate me. They carry a hoax. They come with a fucking bucket of water, right? A basin or whatever, right? I was fucking terrified, yeah? Now, what do you do in this situation, right? So, you're me. I'm from Ballyfermot, yeah? And I go to Mountjoy, right? My ex was from Cabra. I was with her for 22 years. I knew everyone in Cabra, right? The Murphys, the Highlands, the Douglases, the Boyds, you fucking name it, yeah? Anyway, long story short, my mate, his uncle was in the Ra, allegedly, David Douglas, right? Now, you can Google all this, right? Now, I already knew that, but you can't go around saying certain things like that, you know. Now, he's dead now. He was in the Ra, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps because I fucked up being a soldier, you know, serving my country. So I said to myself, this is a way that I know I can, but I was a drug addict and I'm a lawyer fucking ability because of that, you know, so there's no army is going to take you. Do you understand? Especially do you know what I'm saying, Finn? But I surrounded myself with people that had a seat at the table. Do you understand what I mean? So I was okay, you know, but because of movies like Scarface and shit like that, we all want to be fucking a tough guy. Well, not all of us, like, you know, but if you want to be a tough guy, you have to deal with what comes with it. Like, what happens if they come to your ma's house? You're not there. If I can't get you and I see your brother in the garden, I'm shooting him. Now, I don't mean me, but I'm just trying to let you know what the mentality is over there. You know, like I have friends, right, that people come to shoot. I have one friend who come to shoot my friend. My friend wasn't at his mum's that day, but his brother's son was in the hall. Yeah, and someone went past the house and shot a few shots into the house and hit the poor kid in the back and paralysed him. All because his daddy owed money, allegedly. So they come to collect and you weren't there, so I know how I'm gonna get to you. You're not paying me, right? Okay, I've just shot your house up. Oh, sorry, your nephew got here. And that's the way it was, you know, and I'm like, here, fuck that kind of life. You know, at the end of the day, our kids, we're meant to protect our kids. And if you bring that shit to your house, don't bitch about it. If one of them end up getting fucking shot and in a wheelchair forever, you see. I know, I've mates up there that their mammies have to wear bulletproof vests. Here, what about your head? Well, I believe in community spirit. Do you understand? And the community that I've been part of around here, I've invested my time, effort, dedication, everything I've learned. It's like I try to, like I said, there's a few kids that I've got to university. Two of them coming off this road here. Look, that's where I used to live. Look, see that house there? I lived there for about 12 years. You see the house just through there? Right there? That's where TJ lived. That's where his mommy lives, still, over there. Uh, you know, like, I don't give a bollocks anymore. It's like this. I'm gonna write a book, and it's full disclosure. You know, you see, Lee Marvin Hitchman's gonna help me with that. Did I tell you I'm writing a book? Yeah, and I'm gonna put everything in it. Full disclosure. I don't give a fuck who likes or who doesn't. Deal with it, cause it's happening. And anybody that was around me and my life, and anybody that tortured me, is gonna have to hang on a minute. Sorry about that. Marvin's on my phone. No, do you know what, Finn? Lee is me friend. You know, like, he knows me family. I've lived in this city 31 years. He knows me brother-in-law. He knows all my nephews. You know, and when it comes to content creators on YouTube, like, I live in Manchester 31 years, and Lee Marvin Hitchman reached out to me a long time ago, you know, and then he ended up releasing his book, and I've been talking to him about writing a book, and I don't think there's anybody that knows better than him. He's already released a book, you know, and that's what I want to do, you know. And I'm gonna, if I write a book, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna donate 25% of it to mental health issues, and the other 25% I'm probably going to put in some autism charity. So 50%, if I ever write a book, and people mightn't buy it, but if they do, that's where it's going. 50% will go to charity, and I'll keep the rest. Full disclosure, you know, a lot of dead people's going to be in this book, and I tell you now, I see things before they happen. I don't need to charge you see. I've built a foundation of people that'll buy my book. Even if I sell 20 copies of it, you don't get it. It's like, I knew nothing about writing books. Lee Marvin Hitchman has wrote his book. He was born in prison. He's my friend, and he said to me a few weeks ago, Jude, I'm bringing you to my dentist, bro, and I don't want you to, like, you know, because it's like, I'll be honest with you, I can't chew food. I've no teeth in my head because I was a drug addict. I was a crackhead, a smackhead, a tablet head, anything you can get your hands on the head. I'm 51 years old, and on my mother's grave, all I want to do is to live for my children. And living, that means no drugs. Yeah, I'll smoke me weed. You know, I'm not perfect, but when it comes to any other drug here, you've got more chance of the devil appearing in this garden. And if he does, I'll piss on him again. You see, because it's gone. I don't have that nourishment, or, you know, where I used to think, I'm never going to get past drug addiction. I'm always going to want, you know, I always want more. What about what you have now? What about what you have, bro? Like, look around you. This is my dad's garden, you know. In fact, we got the blueprints. In fact, we have the biggest garden on the project. Sorry, didn't mean that, Luke. If you knew him, Jude, I blocked him. Which Luke? What did he do? Nah, look, Finn, it is what it is. I learned a lot of things in life, and it's like, I said to myself, when it comes to YouTube, I'm gonna help a few people, but I need somebody to be fucking honest. I need somebody to be brutally honest. And Finn come out of nowhere. And because of Finn being honest and saying and speaking with conviction the way he does, I said to myself, right, I'm going to focus on Finn and his channel. So for 28 days, at the time, Finn was on under 100, right? Now I'm talking a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, whatever. Long story short, at the time, Finn was under 100, and I just wanted him to get his first 100. Because I knew once he got his first 100, then he's a content creator. But the fact that he's in recovery, he's not afraid to speak about addiction, mental health, or suicide prevention or awareness. So I said it has to be Finn, you know, to carry a baton for the mental health community on YouTube, not just the Irish, the whole community. And I said to myself, all I want is not to make money, just to get me channel back. Because someone stole it from me. who's in here now watching me with your dog. Hey, George. I'd like to thank Foxy for motivating me. You see, you motivated me to come off my medication because you wouldn't have done it now. You see, I was lacking, sleeping, you know, and you caught me. Here. 10 out of 10 for fucking treachery, you cunt. 10 out of 10 for treachery, Foxy. You bought me about £3 worth of equipment, thank you. I donated that to the local youths. Yeah, well done, thanks. I don't need any of your shit. You know, in fact, he reached out to me when I had 700, nearly 700 subs, and he said, Jude, I want to sponsor your channel. I'm like, for what? What do you mean sponsor my channel? He said, well, bro, out of all the channels on the cesspit, he said, I've always watched you, and I thought you were very honest and very blunt about certain things. You know, the way you speak about your mother and your family, and, you know, that's what people are lacking. You know, family priorities. I've always been the man of my family. I've always been the big brother, but I've always wanted the big brother, you know, to take half the weight. You see, God changed my life at 4. Do you know, you see the power of that? It can give life, and it can take away as well. You know, I remember I hear my brother and sister screaming me sometimes, you know. Anytime I burn myself, I'm automatically reminded of them. Like their bodies that day, like my father had to identify them. And I never seen my dad cry, you know. My dad, I'm telling you now, he was a man, you know, but he wasn't perfect. But he was my dad. You know, when he died, he was a different man, because when he come to the UK, he got sick. His heart was really damaged, and he ended up getting put on a waiting list for a heart. And this 13-year-old kid called Daniel, he had cystic fibrosis, and his lungs packed up, and he died. And his parents were brave, and he put his organs up for donation. And my dad and his heart were a perfect match. My dad got a 13-year-old boy's heart and turned into a City fan. He raised us all Man United fans, my dad. When I first come to Manchester, I come here and I stayed with my grandfather. You know, we were all Reds. My dad got a Man City fan's heart. And the surgeon that done the job said to me, Jude, you know your heart stores 50% memory. I'm like, what a fucking stupid thing to say. How can your heart store memory? Guys, it's 11:15. I'm getting picked up soon. But here, shout out to Lee Marvin Hitchman for being a big brother to me. You know, he said, Jude, I'm bringing you to my dentist. They're going to take a 3D, 4D picture of your gums, everything, and they're going to come up with a plan of action. I'm shitting myself, you know. I'm not going to lie, but you know what he said to me? He sent me Mrs. a message yesterday, Finn. He said, here, every famous person gets their teeth done. I'm like, what's he fucking on about famous? Mate, you're famous on YouTube, yeah? You've wrote a book. You've been on James English, Sean Atwood, Lad Bible, and you've even come on my shit little channel. You see, Lee sees something in me. Pablo seen something in me. And I see something in Finn and a couple of others. And Bill and they'll come. And Jude McDonald is, and I'm done. Con too. You can have it in fucking Spanish if you want. It's like, I'm now Finn. You see what Finn's doing? He's networking. You know, every day he's doing lives. He's making shorts. He's making content. I seen this. I already know the potential Finn has, and he's shown on a daily basis, you know, by doing lives, and he's bringing people together. Like, only for Finn. Now, I'll be honest with you. What Finn probably doesn't realise is you can get people who make up ideas and pretend to be women that can be in your chat for a whole year, and you might not know that they're a woman when they're really a man. You know, so Finn, be very fucking careful with people. If you ever bring anyone on your live, make sure you see their face first. You hear me? Because they can sabotage, they can get your channel struck, bro. Which one? But like I said, I go into deep. So I learned how to grow my YouTube channel in the last year. Like, I've been part of the community 7 years, and I stay out of the bullshit, right? Your dad and 50% memory in the heart. Right, so the surgeon was from Glasnevin, right? So I gets a phone call, Finn. Picture this, right? Now, at the time, I lived here. I lived in that gaff there, yeah? I'm here. Look at this fucking Bowsy. Where have you been? Oh, shit. So, anyway, so I gets a phone call. Hello, could we speak to Mr. McDonald? I said, which one? He goes, Daniel, I'm looking across, right? Me dad's pouring out a double vodka. He's fucking steaming. I gets a phone call. There's an ambulance and a police escort on the way to your home right now. We found a donor for your dad. I said to me dad, you've got a heart. He said, you don't fuck about. Finn, you know what? I've never seen anybody sober up so quick. I asked him, what do I need to do? He said, get a bag packed. There's an ambulance and a police escort on the way to your house now. Finn, within 20 minutes, an ambulance and a police bike pulled up outside, yeah? Blue lighted all the way. I went with me dad, you know. Me mum said, I hope you die in the fucking operating table, you bastard. The two of them were arguing. I'm saying to her, come here. Listen, I'm not asked about you. It's a fucking argument. There's a fucking ambulance on the way. Do you understand? Now, at the time, Dylan wasn't born. Dylan's mum was 9 months pregnant. I lived there. Fucking there. 9 months pregnant, yeah? Me dad, we're in the ambulance on the way. He's like, Jude, hold me hand. I'm like, fuck off. Hold your hand. He said, Jude, I'm scared. And you know what, Finn? My dad never, ever showed me a sign he was scared of anything. So I held his hand. He said, I'm sorry. I said, what are you on about? He said, I'm sorry for what I did to you and your ma. Just in case I don't wake up. I said, listen, you cunt. I will electrocute you if I have to. You will wake up. I took his hand and I put it on my partner's stomach at the time. I said, can you feel that? Can you feel that moving? That's your grandson. You better wake up. You know, he said, I'm sorry for how I treated you. And it's, you know, I just hope you can forgive me one day. I said, listen, fuck that for now. We'll work on that when you wake up. Yeah, I forgive you. You're my dad. I love you. Look at, do you understand? Feel that. At the time, me and Dylan's ma were in the ambulance on the way to Wythenshawe Hospital. Finn, as soon as we got there, yeah, my dad was taken off to be prepped. He had to shave him and do a few things, right? The surgeon come and said, are you his eldest son? I said, yeah. He said, Jude, didn't it? I said, yeah. He says, come on into this room and I'll explain to you. So he said to me, Jude, you know what's happening? I said, no. He said, right, I'll tell you. Do you know anything about the operation we're about to do? I said, no. He said, right, we're doing a domino biplasia. He said, a 13-year-old kid who had cystic fibrosis basically died, and his parents were brave and he put his organs on the donating list. Now, that's what you call a fucking donation. Never mind the coffee. How about a fucking heart? The doctor said to me, you know, Jude, you know, what organ stores memory in your body? I said, your brain. He said, what other organ? I was like, is that a fucking trick question? I said, I've no idea. Your brain? He said, no, your heart. I was like, you what? He said, your heart, Jude, stores memory. Now, when your dad wakes up, please God, if the operation goes well, he's gonna change. And you know what, Finn? My dad turned into that 13-year-old kid. His name was Daniel, the same as my little dead brother, the same as that kid who died. And my father was also called Daniel. I don't believe in coincidence. Anyway, me dad. Okay, so it was a domino boy Plazy. The kid who died had cystic fibrosis. His lungs packed up and he died because he couldn't breathe. So his parents put his organs for science, you know. And I got my father for 20 years, you know, proper. Like, I got me dad back, you know, the dad I always wanted. You know, he turned soft. He started watching cartoons. Like, I can't explain it, Finn, you'd have to see it. Within 3 months, my father had like 2 city kits. You know, we were told 3 things about the donor: his name, his age, and he was a Man City 6 season ticket holder. You know, about a few weeks after my dad got out of hospital, you know what he asked me for? To buy him a Man City shirt. I said, what? And then I got it. You know, it wasn't me dad. It was the 13-year-old boy named Daniel. Me dad turned into that boy. But he made a big mistake. After he got his heart, he thought he was a young man again and carried on drinking, and he ended up having a massive stroke, which left his left side all paralysed, and then his kidney started to go. He had dialysis 3 times a week. They were all giving in, failing slowly on ghost mode. But my father learned me something. He learned me how to do music at a young age. He learned me how to operate turntables. He showed me where it's going wrong. You know, and he also taught me how to fight. You know, like, but my mother taught me how to love, and so did me granny. You know, so yeah, I wanted to be one of the boys growing up, but I didn't want to be a tough guy. You know, I wanted to be a businessman. No matter what, I knew that if I had a trying to do something, I had backup. And I'm not just talking about me mates either. You know, but when it comes to drugs, the certain families won't get involved. My family was ashamed of me. And I have an aunt who labelled me the black sheep of the family because I got into trouble and I ended up getting addicted to heroin. She slagged on me mother for years and years, and have a guess what happened though? She has 7 kids, right? 4 of them ended up on heroin. Hey, she wasn't talking to them, was she? The cunt. Fuck her. But like I said, addiction, man. Like I said, it's brought me onto this platform. I come onto YouTube, you know, and I ended up meeting the love of my life. You know, on a different app called Live Me. I had about 20,000 followers. You know, as soon as I knew myself and Lisa. Look at this Bowsy, look. Go on out of that, you big Bowsy, you. Give us a wave. You big handsome fella, you. You up out of that. How are you, Mousy? Guys, do me a favour, yeah? You see that fella in the chat, Mousy, right? Can you go over and give his channel a sub? He is a dub. He's my favourite channel on here. And I believe that there's a few Irishmen on here, and all we need to do is come together one night, about 6 or 7 of us, on a panel, and we can grow something much bigger than the cesspit. Fuck the cesspit. I helped build that. People will say that I didn't, but I fucking did. Me and 4 or 5 other lads. And I see the same potential in the Irish community. Fuck the cesspit. Like I said, you look at Finn. See Finn's channel. Finn's bringing people together, right? It's like now, this is what it is. It's going to cause a ripple effect, right? And like I said, I put Mousie's community page on my community page because, like I said, he's my favourite Irish channel. And Finn's will go on there, and a couple of others will go on there because they do this on a daily basis. And the thing about independent people is we don't make money unless people are members of our channel and pay £1 a month or £2 a month. And listen, I've no problem with people making a few quid, but me personally, this was always about principle. Someone stole my channel when I was very ill and thought that I wouldn't do nothing about it. Hang on, let me take these beads off because I'm about to cuss. Now, I haven't got long to go because Lee Marvin Hitchman is coming to see me, you know. Shout out to me missus. You know, last night one of our family members died in her sleep. You know, so like me missus is strong. You know, it's like, and I love her to death, and you know, I've always been afraid to get me to go anywhere near the dentist because if the truth be told, my teeth are the way they are because of me, because of the choices I made. I chose to take heroin, I chose to smoke crack, I chose to take tablets, as many as I could get, and now, like I said, I've no nourishment for drugs, only the ones unprescribed. And on my baby's life, on all my kids' lives, and I love my kids, there is more chance of Gandhi appearing in my garden and taking my both eyes out. You know, on my mother's grave, on my little dead brother and sister's grave, you see on that statue there, I may get fucking cancer. If I'm lying, it's like I fucked up. You know, I fucked up. You know, I seen a dead person in my bedroom and it led me to relapse. You know, and like I said, it's like when I seen Finn's channel at first, I was like, this kid, like, he's honest. And it's like, I've been part of this community for 7 years and we need more Irish channels on here. We need more mental health channels on here. And if we help each other by, whether it be buying someone a coffee, donating £1 to that channel or sharing that channel, put it on your community page. Now, I wrote something down, right? Now, check the old, do you like the old glasses? The old Louis. Right, so, when I first come on here, a guy called Holden Official Ronan helped me, and he said, Jude, your fucking channel is explosive, Jude. I'm doing a wee podcast, Jude. Would you like to come on my channel, Jude? I was like, I would fucking love, bro, to come on your channel. But why me? He said, cause I know your family, Jude. My dad knows your family, Jude. I'm doing a wee podcast and I'd like you to come on it, Jude. So I said, all right, I'd like that. He said, when do you want to date? I was like, we date today and be on your way, because I am not a gay. But shout out to Ronan Holden Official. Now, Ronan, I didn't know anything about YouTube. Ronan taught me a few things, okay? And he said to me, I'm a beacon. At the time, I didn't understand what he means, but I know now. He said, we haven't got enough, or we need more channels like yours in our community, Jude. And it's like, I know that you're going to bring people together, even if it's one or two. I've already achieved what I set out to do. You know, go past Fighting Back United, 560 subs. It took me 4 years to get them. 4 years. I wasn't hungry. I didn't give a fuck about my own channel. I just went on the cesspit. I went into whoever channel I got on with. So, long story short, channel was robbed. We got the channel back, and a few English channels steamrolled me. And all these English channels slate me. They've slated me teeth. They've slated a lot of things about me. You know, and the English channels control the narrative on YouTube. No, you don't. Not anymore. You see, because one night, very soon, me, Finn, Mousy, Jono, Jay, Pablo, Spencer. Now that is what you call a panel. We have Ballyer, we have Finglas, Clondalkin, you know, and I believe that once we do this one night, let's say for instance Finn says, right, tomorrow night for an hour I'm opening my panel, jump on. Now I'm not going to open my stream yet, I'm just going to jump on Finn's or Mousy's, and slowly you can get, like if I say, for instance, I'm a small YouTube channel, right, but if I make a video and I put Finn's channel in the description, Mousy's, Jono's, Abe's, Ron's, Jerry's, Pablo's, Spencer's, you know, it's like there's loads of people out there that have mental health issues, right? And I believe if you're a content creator, you can fucking help, not just yourself, but you can help the community. If you believe, see me, right, what you have to understand is, when you start a YouTube journey, like for instance, see Finn, now, I'll back Finn over everybody, because I believe that if you have a little bit of knowledge about YouTube and you can help one of your countrymen, one of your fellow fucking dubs for free, here, that's what you call nobility. I've no issue with people making money. I wish Foxy didn't steal me channel, and then I'd be asking you to hit the like button. Do you understand? And I'd be charging you £2 every fucking month. But it's been about principle, and this is what I'm saying about principle and pride. You know, fuck the money. You know, how you rap. And like I said, it's like Finn and Mousy, myself and Spencer and a couple of other lads talking about football, fighting, UFC, mental health, Arabs, Sinbad, Aladdin, whoever. It doesn't matter. It's like, because you have good and bad in every community, whether you're black, white or brown skin, whether you're Protestant or whether you're Catholic. You know, if you want to fight with people because they're fucking English for the rest of your life, if you want to fight people that haven't done fuck all on you, you want to fight with people that help you when your first baby mother and you were living in a house and you hadn't even got a fucking cooker. Do you understand? And this woman helped me. It blew all the hatred down my heart. I was racist. I didn't even speak to a black person. This black woman helped me. She gave me a fridge, a cooker, and a fucking 3-piece sofa, and a pot of curry goat. You know, she helped me, you know, and I'm thinking, what a fucking ignorant bigot I was. I was racist and racist, you know, but then everything changed when I come here. You know, I've lost a couple of people, mate, put it that way. But I also found something. You know, it's like forgiveness being one thing. You see, walking away from your mates forever, knowing that, here, If I make a decision, I stick with it. And the only time I'll ever be on Irish soil again is when I'm dead. You know, even if family members die, I won't go home. You see, I'm protecting my biggest investment, my biggest asset is my well-being. I buried my ma and dad once. Then I had to do it again when they got repatriated back to Ireland. Like, what a year. I become a dad again. I become a grandfather for the first time. Getting me ma and dad repatriated back to Ireland, coming off medication, getting me fucking channel back. You know, for what? You know, I'll tell you for what, for principle, for pride, for dignity. When Foxy stole my channel, he took something away from me. And I had to go back to basics. In fact, ABC, like me dad told me, all bases covered, and your life I will have smothered. You know, yeah, like, on YouTube, when it comes to the Irish community, I've got a grudge. Well, not a grudge, something personal. Because no names, Exposure TV, you said I had a shit channel, didn't you, lad? Remember the way you went to meet Ben Hatcher and you had 3 midgets in the car with you? I'd anticipate that. You know, Gary. I remember you saying I had black teeth. You should have seen it with conviction. I have the worst teeth on YouTube. That's on me. But I'm not afraid to show my face, am I? Not like you little scouse midget, you. Yeah. You said you felt sorry for me, but you wouldn't meet me, would you, though? If the truth be told, if the people knew what I know and what you know, you wouldn't fucking meet me. You know, I'm not tough. Don't need to be a tough guy, you know, but a few people, I used to like Expo. I swear down, look, I used to like Expo, but he crossed the line with me. I was in his channel one night, and him and his mate, PP, ridiculed me, mocked me, said I had a shit channel, and they were right. And how crazy is this? PP said I had a shit channel, so I started a new one, and guess what? I went past his shit channel, didn't I? In 2 years, I smothered his. You know, like I said, I've always been real with people. Do you understand? And it's like I'm on here to help the Irish community because I got steamrolled by a lot of the English community. My channel got blackballed because that wanker and a few of his mates. But now I get on with all of them. You know, I've no bad feeling to it. I don't hate anybody in the world. You know, I used to hate myself, but it's like I don't hate anybody. You know, when you hate somebody, you give away too much control to them by having that power over you. Hatred is a big word. Right, guys, I'm going to have to end my live because I'm getting picked up soon to go and have a consultation on my mouth. I'd like to thank you all for coming in. And guys, listen, do me a favour, yeah? If you're not sub to Finn's channel or Mousie's channel, could you go over and do it? Now, in my community page, I put Mousie's PayPal in there, right? Now, this geezer, on a daily basis, he walks the streets of Dublin to make content for me and for you. And he doesn't ask for fuck all. And if you're going to support or you want to buy someone a coffee, buy Mousie a coffee, or buy Finn a coffee, or fucking donate £1 to his channel or whatever. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm going to try build something And slowly, like I said, all it takes is a few individuals to come on a panel, and all my panel will be all dubs. You hear me? And we are going to grow like a fucking tree. And it's like, for instance, when Finn started to come into my channel and I knew he was serious about it, I was like, I spotted, I'm good at spotting talent in a way, if that makes sense, but Finn, the bigger picture is, he's bringing different people on his channel from all over Dublin, you know, and like I said, all it takes is, listen, I've been around big channels on here, and there is potential for myself and a few other channels to all come together one night to talk about boxing, football, or even the lead up when United are in the final against Tottenham. Now, when it comes to fight, I know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not a fucking dickhead, and I'm not a tough guy or a hard man or a fighting man. You know. Now, I know people that can fight, and I know people that have been around world champions, people that have been trained by not just masters and Muay Thai, but grandmasters. Look at this gun, look. Now, who taught you how to fight?
Ronnie Green.
Okay, Ronnie Green, right. So,
Master Crid.
there you go.
Now, Master Toddy, Master A.
Wow.
Yeah, loads of them. Steve Powell.
And how many times was Ronnie Green the world champion?
Six-time world champion.
Do you understand? And it's like, I remember years ago where Mark coming home with loads of pads and gloves, you know, all sparring gear. Like, but yellow and red, like, do you want to see it? Because his gaffer ended up finding the International Muay Thai Federation in Manchester, you know, but the geezer, like, in his country, you know, you can't just go around calling yourself a master or a grandmaster. It's like a fucking, what, bro? It's a ceremony, isn't it? When you become a master and a grandmaster.
Yeah, you can't get any bigger honour than being a grandmaster. There's no bigger honour in Thai boxing than a grandmaster. If you're a grandmaster, that means you.
Bro, you're like fucking a celebrity because people respect you. But guys, listen, I'm gonna have to end my life because Lee is supposed to be coming, and I'm going in to have a consultation, and me black teeth. Yeah. I'm going to get introduced to a 4D camera, right? I have to go, guys, right? God bless you, I'm away.
Is Lee coming here?